In this quick comparison video, I wanted to take a look at the Ride1Up LMT'D versus the Ride1Up Turris. At the time of this recording, the LMT'D comes in at around $1,500, where the Turris comes in at around $1,300. So it's a $200 difference in price point. So let's take a look at these two e-bikes to see why that is and to see all the different features that these two e-bikes have. And actually, before I start, I wanted to let you know that all this wiring that I have just randomly hanging here is because I tried to swap out the thumb throttle on this e-bike. It actually broke after like the first time using it, and I don't know why it is. My thumb throttle just doesn't work anymore. I've been chatting with support to get it fixed, so hopefully it's not an issue, but I just wanted to let you know that that's why these cords are like hanging here kind of jankily, is because I've been messing with my throttle trying to get it to work again. So starting off, the tires on these two e-bikes are different. The LMT'D has more of a road tire to it, and the Turris has a more all-terrain type of tire with a lot thicker tread on it. So if you're riding it in trails or loose sand or gravel, I think you'll have a little bit more traction if you're riding the Turris. The Turris also has front and rear fenders on it, which is also really nice if you're driving it on dirt roads or on different types of terrain, because it's going to keep you a lot cleaner and the e-bike a lot cleaner when it has fenders, versus the LMT'D doesn't have those, so you might get a little dirty if it's raining out and your tires are kicking up water and mud on you. Both of these e-bikes have a front headlight and no rear tail light, so you can see at nighttime a little better with your front headlights. They're very comparable. When it comes to the suspension though, the Ride1Up Turris is going to have more travel on the suspension. It has 100 millimeters of travel versus the Ride1Up LMT'D only has 80 millimeters of travel. So you're gonna notice a little smoother suspension through this. Also, the seat on this is really squishy and it feels really comfortable to absorb a lot of the bumps that you'll be riding over top of, versus the original seat that came on the Ride1Up LMT'D is pretty hard and it was like narrow. So that's why I swapped it out actually, because I would get sore after riding it for longer distances. But this is made to be more of a road bike, so it makes sense that they have that more sleek style seat on it if you like riding on the road and more doing that style of riding. So it really depends on like how you're going to use these two e-bikes. This is better for a road bike, a commuter, something like that, versus this is made for more all-terrain and being a little more rugged on it. Both of these e-bikes have hydraulic disc brakes, which I love way more than mechanical brakes, so they stop you really smoothly, and I think both of them brake really well. There is a difference though when it comes to these shifters, where this one has a 7-speed little shifter here like a thumb shifter, versus this one is a 8-speed trigger shifter on the LMT'D e-bike, and the 8-speed trigger shifter is a lot better in my opinion. But to be honest with you, when I'm riding an e-bike, I rarely actually shift. I usually just change my pedal assist level to give me more assistance or less, and I actually don't shift too much when I'm riding an e-bike. The battery compartment is located in two different spots on these e-bikes. On the LMT'D, it's located on the top, which a lot of times it's a little bit easier to just drop in there because the weight of the battery just naturally sits downwards, and then it's easier to click into place, versus on the Turris, you have to put it on underneath it, so you have to push a little bit harder to get it to lock into place. But when you're taking out the batteries, you have to watch out for this top bar right here, because when you're pulling it out, sometimes your hand can get caught in there and it's a little bit awkward with this front bar, versus the Turris, when you're taking it out, it just pops out beneath it, so it's easier to take out. So I guess those are my thoughts when it comes to the batteries. As far as the battery life goes on each of these e-bikes, the LMT'D will go in a range from 30 to 50 miles on one charge, versus the Turris is only gonna go 25 to 45 miles on one charge. Another key difference between these two e-bikes is the LMT'D has a torque sensor versus the Turris has a cadence sensor. So cadence sensor is gonna go at the automatic speed, whatever pedal assist level you're in. If you're in pedal assist level 1, your e-bike is only gonna go like 8 to 10 miles an hour, and that's it. No matter how hard you're pedaling or if you're pedaling really lightly, you're still gonna go that 8 to 10 miles an hour. Versus on a torque sensor, it's way more adaptive. If you pedal a lot harder, then your motor is gonna give you a lot more energy and you're gonna go a lot faster. So that's the main difference between a torque and a cadence sensor. So it feels more like a smoother ride when you're riding a torque sensor. It feels way more natural. But if you're looking to just cruise and not have to exert any energy, you want the e-bike to do all the hard lifting and all the work for you, and you just want to lightly pedal but still go at fast speeds, then a cadence sensor is great for that. So it really depends on how you like to ride your e-bike. I know a lot of people prefer a torque sensor just because it mimics a normal bicycle ride the most, and it's just a little bit more of a natural ride. But really, to me, it depends on how you like to ride. They both have a 750 watt rear hub motor, and I don't feel like I had any trouble zipping around, getting where I needed to be. I felt like they both handled fine when it came to that. The screen on both of these are basically identical. I think they use the same exact screen, and the plus and minus pedal assist level buttons and the throttles are like basically identical. Although my throttle isn't working at the moment, they both work and operate the same way on both of these e-bikes. So when it comes to my personal opinion, I really think it depends on how you want to use your e-bike that you plan on buying, because the Turris is going to be better for like all terrain and just maybe a little more rugged. You have trails, you want a little more suspension in it, you like the softer seat. I feel like that will be better suited for you, although it has a cadence sensor which you might not enjoy as much. Versus this e-bike, the Limited, is great for a road bike. It's gonna be a very smooth takeoff, a very smooth ride when you have to accelerate and slow down. It's gonna handle really good. They both get up to 28 miles an hour, but to me this feels more like a road bike would handle, and this is more like an all-terrain bike. So those are the differences between them. They still both have front shocks and front suspension, so not shocks, just suspension. They both have front suspension that is going to like assist going over top of bumps, so they're really comparable. So really it comes down to the price point, where this one is $200 more expensive, and then some of the other features that I mentioned before. So really, I think these e-bikes are very comparable. Now that I've swapped out the seat on this, I really enjoy this e-bike a lot more. I can ride it for longer periods without getting sore. So I think both of these e-bikes have been really great for me to ride. I enjoy both of them. When I choose which one I'm going to take riding for the day, it really depends on how I'm feeling. If I don't want to exert a lot of energy, then I'm going to jump on the Turris, because I can just use the cadence sensor and just zip right along with the e-bike doing all the work for me. When I want more of a quality premium ride that I can adjust how fast I'm pedaling and how slow I'm pedaling, and the e-bike adapts to all that, then I'm gonna hop on the Ride1Up Limited. I really think you're gonna be happy either way you go. I've been enjoying both of these e-bikes. I think Ride1Up produces some nice quality e-bikes. As soon as I can get my throttle fixed, I should be good to go. So that's my thoughts. If you're interested in either of these e-bikes, I'll put a link in the description below to them. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out more content like this, then consider subscribing, because I'm going to be doing a lot more e-bike videos just like this one. So catch you on another one. Bye.